I'm going to the game. I'm driving to Buffalo. Wish us luck, both driving and for the game. Go Bills. Yeah. Good seats, huh?
Oh yeah.
Halftime, weird end of the half, but optimistic going forward. That triathlon was pretty awesome. I'm filming, I don't have The Bills won. It was awesome. I was there. The weather driving into Buffalo was shitty. Well, like driving in most of the way was fine. In the city was awful and the streets weren't plowed and we were sliding a little bit when we were trying to find food to eat for lunch. Casa de Pizza was not open, which was very disappointing. They usually open 11:30, but like blah, blah, blizzard, whatever. So we went to Lenova, which was, you know, an acceptable substitute. I know everybody has their own pizza place and a lot of people love Lenova. That's number 2 for me. But then we drove down to Orchard Park. There was not any snow on the road, been cleared 100%. The sun was shining. It was very cold. The song is alive. I think it was like 4 degrees out. Not a single snowflake fell on us the entire time except the snow that people were throwing up in the air every time the Bills scored. A lot of snow still still in the seats. The benches themselves were kind of cleared, and then the foot space in front of the seats was not cleared. We had to kind of clomp through. The cardboard I put under my feet is not effective on a big pile of snow. Like that just didn't solve anything. But we had great seats. We got to watch a lot of warm-ups.
Knox right there.
Where? Midfield? Oh, yeah, there he is. Those arms are unreasonable. Ed Oliver was dancing around.
There's Ed Oliver right there.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying watching Ed Oliver dance. Steph and Trent Sherfield were out on the field really early, not in uniform, just in their sweats, hanging out with each other. It was the first game I think that Sherfield was going to start because Gabe was out, and it really seemed clear that Steph was like, I'm going to take you out and work with you. I loved seeing that sort of leadership from one guy to another guy who's had a lot of success and the guy who's had to struggle a little bit more. When people talk about Steph not being into this team, fucking nonsense. Steph also had a really good game last night. A lot of really great catches.
Looking for options as they run after him. He releases and gets it to Diggs.
Wow.
I am kind of shocked that he didn't get called for some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct penalty when he drank the Gatorade off the Steelers sideline. That might not have been a great call.
And here's when he went down the previous play, grabs a little sip of Gatorade and says, all right, I was thirsty.
But it was really funny. So since he didn't get in trouble for it, I'll take it. Other people who had a great game, well, Josh.
Josh Allen is who he is because he's willing to lower shoulder, and he's a little sick in the head because he likes it.
I mean, he had some not great periods of time. I would say that the end of the first half, once again, was mismanaged, which is not great, given that that's 2 weeks in a row that kind of got screwed up. I don't think it was on Josh this time, really. I think there was some poor play calling happening. And then Tyler Bass got the field goal blocked. He also, the first kickoff was weird, and the second, or I guess it was the third field goal, he did make one field goal, but then that last field goal,
Oh, my goodness.
it didn't even look like a kick. It looked like a really high pass to the sidelines. Like, it was just the craziest bullshit, terrible kick. I don't know what's going on with him. So after they came back from halftime, the energy was really low in the stadium. Half the people in the stadium weren't back from halftime. Like, they were still inside getting drinks and food and stuff. So the place was empty. And that first drive, I don't know if we went 3 and out, but it was really short. And we had to punt with our punter who had been injured on the blocked kick. That was fun.
Pittsburgh makes a play.
Tyler Bass was out at halftime practicing punting because we thought we might have to go with him. Luckily, Sam Martin was able to pull it together and do that one punt. And we only needed one punt in the second half, thank God. Seeing that after the half, seeing what happens to the team when the energy gets low was really kind of fascinating because you could see all during the game, you know, we worked really hard when the defense is out there to make a lot of noise. And guys on the defense are out there. Greg Rousseau in particular, who had a great sack, by the way.
First down. Oh, what a tackle for the sack. It's Greg Rousseau. He had 5 in the regular season.
He's out there. He's huge, which I didn't realize. He's like 6'6". He towers over half the other guys on that team. Like, it's just crazy. And he's out there with his arms up in the air, just pumping everybody up the whole time, every play. And that was pretty cool to see. Ed Oliver is doing the same thing. Dorian Williams in the second half was really getting out there with a lot of energy during plays, trying to pump everybody up. You don't really have the same effect when the offense is out there because you're not trying to make a lot of noise. You're not trying to make them false start. You're trying to let them concentrate. So it's got to be like good vibes, which I don't really know how to explain it, but you just have to be there with this positive energy so they feel it. And I know that they feel it. Josh said after the game that they feel it.
And again, the vibe, the energy, the juice that we can use from that is instrument. Like, you just can't chalk it up to anything other than momentum. It's something you can't see, but it's something you can definitely feel, and they give that to us.
By the way, that's not a fake slide. That's just an amazing juke, and people aren't used to a quarterback who runs like a running back. I've seen James Cook do shit like that. He runs like a running back. You got to deal with it. I'm sorry the next time he slid, you guys were idiots and jumped on top of him and hit him.
Called for holding to begin this series.
Foul, number 16, defense. 15-yard penalty.
I'm sorry. One was a legit juke and the other one was an actual slide, and you can't hit him. This was an argument that was happening apparently in my text messages during the game with my in-laws, and I just wasn't part of it because I was actually at the game. The third quarter was overall pretty low vibes. I thought that the play calling was really very reminiscent of earlier games in the season where you saw McDermott start doing that thing where he plays to not lose instead of to win. We all know what it looks like. It's the same thing all the time, letting them get little passes, but it's, it doesn't actually stop them. They move down the field. It's lost us games. He doesn't seem to get, or he's been better about it recently, but all of a sudden he's back to not understanding that a 2-score game, that's not enough in the third quarter. You got to keep putting points on the board. You can't be like, okay, we've got 14 points, we're good. You're not. Keep going. Some good stuff started happening in the fourth quarter. Whoever was in charge of playing the music at the stadium, I don't know what he got under his skin, but he went on a tear of just great songs that got people's energy up. And I think the big one was they went to it was like a 2:15, 2:30 commercial break. So we were just in the stadium for this long period of time, and he put up, or she, I don't know who it is who does the music. They're great. They put on Don't Stop Believin', and a big, huge thing came on the Jumbotron that said, sing along. And everybody started singing along. It pumped us all up, pumped the sideline up. I don't know if my vocal cords were just really chilled or something, but I was able to hit the high Steve Perry notes that I usually can't belt. I'm very picky about my karaoke songs, and I always say Steve Perry's one that I can't pull off. I can't do Steve Perry, I can't do Grace Slick, and I can't do Ann Wilson. Don't do those songs. I sing them in my car, but not in public. But there I was in public, and I hit all those notes because I was like, this is it, we're doing it. We were all super into it. It was great. And then, who should put the game away?
2nd and 9. Across the middle, Sherfield was not down, Shakir, not down, inside the 10. Oh, what an effort! The play of the night! Khalil Shakir.
But Khalil Shakir! That was Khalil Shakir! Woo! My dad sent me the most excited text message. He said that he screamed himself hoarse. He was so excited. He offered to buy me a Shakir jersey, which is funny because I went into the store at the stadium and I was like, if they have a Shakir jersey, I think I'll buy it. But they didn't. And also the jerseys there cost $300, which is twice as much as they cost online regularly. So forget that. I've been singing this guy's praises all season and a little bit last season too, but definitely all this season. And he won the game. It was a team effort. But that last play, whew, he's so bendy too. I also saw Shakir at the end of the game when he was walking off the field on FaceTime with somebody. I really hope it was his mom because she posted on Twitter this morning and was super duper excited. And I love Josh giving him props.
Jim Nance and Tony Romo right now, which was the 52-yard run to just get things going, or Shakir's touchdown to basically finish this off?
Shakir's, no doubt. The answer, their offense was doing a good job of holding on to the ball. They scored there to bring it to one score. And he mans up right there and makes a heck of a play and gives us the spark that we needed at the end of the game.
And then I love him giving Josh props.
17, he's so different. He's the best quarterback in the league, hands down. Just what he's able to do.
So funny that apparently all the guys on the sideline were shouting for him to slide, and he was like, "Nope."
We were begging that fucker to slide once in a while. But I mean, you say that, and then he does something like he pops off that 53-yarder, and you're screaming in the back like, "Get down, dude! Like, what are you fucking doing?" And then he goes for it, and you're yelling, "Go, go, go!" So it's a beautiful thing. Right?
I'm so happy for these guys. They are beat up. Our defense is, holy shit. We were standing there at the end of the game in the fourth quarter watching, that last touchdown drive by the Steelers, and I looked out at the jerseys and I was like, who are these people? Like, we'd already lost Douglas and Dawson and Rapp and somebody else that I'm forgetting. Sorry. Obviously, like Milano a million years ago. Then yesterday we lose Benford. We lose Taron Johnson on some crazy concussion head injury thing where if you looked at the replay of that, something weird happened. And it's hard to see exactly how he got hit, but his hand does something weird. I saw them pulling him off the field just sort of out of the corner of my eye. Like, they didn't make a big deal out of it. He was standing. They didn't do an injury timeout or anything like that. It was just like, somebody tell Taryn to get off the field. So I hope he's okay. I'm hoping that's just a minor thing and he'll be back next week. Terrell Bernard will not be back next week. It sounds like the injury is less than we were worried it was when we saw him getting carted off. It sounds like it's definitely not a fracture. They're doing an MRI to see if there's any ligament damage, but it's probably just a sprain. So he's definitely not going to be in the game next week, but like, if we make it to Texans, Ravens, whoever that is, if we make it to the Super Bowl, we could get him back. Balin Spector went out. He was already a replacement guy. So we lost that. We were so short on linebackers. Luckily, we weren't trying to blitz a whole ton in this game because of the running game. But, you know, I'm pretty sure they got Poyer up playing linebacker half the time. They put AJ Klein in as the guy calling the defensive plays when Bernard went out. AJ Klein wasn't on the team last week.
Got hit, somehow got the pass away. Nice tackle by Klein. How about Klein?
He got cut from the practice squad in December, and apparently they called him last week. He was literally packing up an RV to go on vacation with his family.
So you're going to Key West this weekend, not next weekend, divisional?
No, it was this weekend, but everything's canceled now, so plans are canceled.
And they were like, we need a linebacker. So he came in and he took over. He led the team in tackles. He had 11 tackles. He did great. But that was one of the things I looked out at the beginning of the game and I was like, AJ Klein. And then I was like, we've got Andy Isabella out there. He's tiny, by the way. Diggs and Shakir look like giants. We had Khair Elam out there for the first time in a really long time. He was on injured reserve, but also he's a healthy scratch most of the time because he hasn't really worked out for us since we drafted him. And he made 2 boneheaded plays right away.
To the end zone, it's not there. Johnson's looking for a flag and he got it.
And I think everybody in the stands was like, Elam. And then he caught an interception right in front of us.
We're looking that way to Johnson. There's the pass. And it's picked off by Elam. Oh, boy, does he make up for those other 2 plays.
I was so happy. I was so happy for him. I was so happy for us because we really needed that interception after he did the stupid pass interference thing. In general, the refs weren't calling a lot of holding, pass interference, stuff like that. The refs were really pretty hands-off. So I've heard a lot of complaints from Steelers fans that they were no calling stuff that they should have called, but I think they've heard so much about calls making breaking games, especially at the end of the game, that they're like, we're not calling shit if we don't have to. They called that personal foul on Josh, which was legit. They called holding when Kincaid got tackled, and there was the whole thing about, was it a catchable pass? I think that was legit too. It didn't have to be defensive pass interference, but it was some sort of illegal touching. Kincaid had a great touchdown on our end of the field, which was cool.
So here's Buffalo from the 29. Right down the middle, they go for it. They got it!
Knox had a touchdown on our end of the field right in front of us. Like, literally just happened right in front of me. I was super excited.
10th play for the Bills. Just inside the 10. To the end zone. It's caught! It's Knox! Dawson Knox with a touchdown catch.
You can't see me on TV, though. I'm like right there. But yeah, that last drive, it was Elam, Klein, Cam Lewis.
They worked on Lewis again.
You called it.
Yep.
Silence, gymnasts!
Hamlin was out there. I was like, our team is now down to practice squad, guys who got cut from the practice squad, and the guy who's on the active roster because he died last year. The fact that we pulled that off is pretty impressive, and I think speaks to how deep our roster is. But man, how do you win a Super Bowl with practice squad guys? I don't know. So anyway, Chiefs next week. That will be Pat Mahomes' first road playoff game ever. Offense really has to put up a lot of points for this to work, given what our defense looks like right now. And my dad wants me to go again, so it's very possible you might be getting some live footage from me next week. Hopefully it'll be just as positive as this one is, and less injuries. So, go Bills!